Coach, how much time did you give yourself to enjoy that win? Coaches are always talking about what's next and the next challenge, the next game. But that was a pretty difficult situation. You get a win in your first ever game. You saw what that team was able to do. You were emotional afterwards. How much time did you get to enjoy that? What did you do to celebrate?
It was a long flight home, first of all. We got home about 4:30 that morning, and went home and got a little bit of sleep, not too much, but got a little bit of sleep. Woke up in the morning. It was my wife's 40th birthday.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I was able to spend about 30 or 40 minutes with her. Had some pancakes in the morning, and then came on in and got to work on the putting to bed the last game and getting ready to move on this week.
Very happy birthday to your wife, and I'm sure those pancakes were great. I want to talk to you about those emotions that were obviously spewing out in that post-game interview with Taylor Davis there. Where do those emotions stem from for you?
Gosh, I mean, obviously the kids that we're working with here, unbelievable kids, and I want the best for them. I want them to experience success, to be able to go out on this field and give it their all and have outcomes come their way. And but if you ask where it stems from, it stems from probably 1996 when I first stepped foot on campus here, and all the things that Georgia Tech has to offer and has done for me in my life, and just knowing what it can do for all these young men that we're coaching right now and moving forward for the rest of their lives.
Coach, we're still trying to determine whether your arrival to Atlanta or the Olympics were the bigger event in 1996. I'm pretty sure it was your arrival. But I wanted to ask you, I know my phone blew up after the game with excitement about the win and just how the team looked. What's the support been like from the Georgia Tech community since you've taken over, and especially after the win?
It's been good, Roddy. I mean, we know what the fan base is here. We know the support that's here at Georgia Tech, and just to have those people come out and the last really 3 days and 4 days, and it's like they were it's like there was an awakening for them to see our kids go out and be able to play that football game, and gave some fire and some energy to these people, and it's been a great thing for these kids, for them to be able to experience those things like we have in the past. So, but at the same time, I mean, 8:30 on Monday morning, the game was behind us, and we moved on to Duke.
Before we move on to Duke, though, Roddy just mentioned his phone blowing up, and I'm sure yours was too. I can only imagine. And I know I asked Mike Elko this after they got their first win, his first win as a head coach over there at Duke. What did your phone look like, and who was your favorite text from? He had told us Don Staley. What about you? That was Tony Elliott who said Don Staley, but who was yours?
Probably teammates, former teammates here at Georgia Tech that were able to share in the excitement and the emotion of that game and the moment. That would be way up there. Would be my former teammates, former coaches that I've had here, and then family. My mom, coming out of the interview room on Saturday night and calling my wife and hearing her voice, and then calling my mom. I mean, just hearing the joy in my mom's voice, for everything that had gone on, and just thinking back, all the games my mom's witnessed, that she's watched Georgia Tech play over the last, 30 years, 25 years, and all the games that she's traveled to watch Tech play, and all the games she's seen here at Bobby Dodd, just hearing the excitement in her voice, and that was a really, really special moment for me.
Coach, just over a week ago, you were put in this position, and obviously you're trying to figure out how to move forward with your guys and get you ready for a road game against a ranked team. You get that win, and as you said, you've turned your page now to Duke. When you juxtapose last week to this week, how do they compare? How do they feel, and what's like the morale or the vibe of the team?
The morale of the team's good, and these young men are resilient. They're able to move on a lot quicker than adults are in a lot of cases, and that was the case for these guys. But I think the biggest thing is being direct with them, being honest, being upfront, and letting these guys know really what the expectations are from us as a coaching staff. And when you put that in front of them, they were able to move on and get back to work. And at the end of the day, there's very, very few people that play college football that play it and not love the game. And these guys love playing, they love practicing, they love competing, and just really, really happy to be a part of it with them.
I think that love of the game shows. I mean, the Nate McCollum play against UCF, running a guy down over 100 yards, he sprinted to knock the ball out and cause a touchback. But I want to talk to you about a play in the Pittsburgh game. I believe it was a third down. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a play late in the game where you need a first down. Running back gets stopped short, and then the entire offense comes to his aid and powers him forward for another 12 yards or so to get the first down. What do plays like that say about this team?
Well, it shows the determination that these guys have, and really down inside how much they want to win. And whether it was Nate running, across field at UCF to make the strip fumble, or those guys on the 3rd and 10 call up at Pitt being able to really propel Hassan an extra 8 yards really to get that first down on a 3rd and 10 call when we showed confidence in those guys to be able to call a run on 3rd and 10 and be able to execute it and get the yards needed to put us in either a field goal range or to be able to put us in a position to continue the drive. And when the guys do things like that and the kids out there show that sort of effort and want to, it really fuels you as a coach, and you show where they're really coming from and the love of the game they have.
I know it was kind of triage mode last week. You're having to make a lot of decisions quickly. One of those decisions that you made that really bore fruit was the decision to go to Gavin Stewart as your kicker. Makes 4 field goals. I don't often give kickers love on any of the programs that I'm on, but what can you say about his performance?
I'm with you, Roddy. I get it, man. We're cut from the same cloth. Yes, but that being said, I mean, there's a lot of my really good friends were former kickers and specialists here when we played. But just seeing Gavin go out there and have the confidence that he had he'd been kicking the ball off well, and then within the week of practice he got some things. He was dinged up in a couple of ways for a little bit, and then as he came back healthy and the week of practice that he had leading up to the game, and just the confidence in him, and the saying where they talk about where the kickers that don't act like kickers. Well, it's I mean, Gavin can get out on the field. He can play any position he wants. I mean, he's confident. He really is, and he doesn't let things does not let things bother him. And he showed the confidence, and really, when a kicker can do that, and especially when we were struggling at the time, putting the ball into the end zone, it really it helps the coaching staff be able to make better decisions, really moving down in that area to put points on the board and and help the momentum of the game.
All right, we want to see Gavin at wide receiver, DB this week too, kicking all of the above. He can play all 3 sides of the ball. I want to talk to you about moving forward now, Duke, and what Mike Elko has done. It doesn't get much easier for you because this Duke team is red hot, and what he's done to turn this thing around. Gosh,
I mean, really good football team, and I say that as a football team because it's all 3 phases. It's offense, defense, special teams. They don't beat themselves. They don't make mistakes, to the point where really other teams make more mistakes because of the way they play the game. And, you look at the things that really determine the outcome of games of, penalties and turnovers and, field position, being able to stop the run, being able to, play good situational defense and offense. They check the boxes across the board. And that's a credit to Mike and the job he's done since he's gotten there. And what is it now? The last 9 or 10 months of being able to instill that type of culture into the program. And the kids are believing in it, and it shows. And then like they say, both outcomes of football games are contagious, and he's got them on a contagious winning feel right now. And they're playing confident. You can tell in the way they play. You can tell in the way that the quarterback. That he manages the game, that the coaches have put confidence in him to be able to manage the football game, and they're playing with a high level of confidence because of that.
Let's finish out talking about your quarterback, Jeff Sims. It was a performance that I think the entire offense had to grind a little bit against a really good Pitt defense, but he ends up sealing it at the end. And it felt like his confidence continued to grow in that game the longer it went. How has Jeff led this crew through the turmoil of last week into this week in a little more normalcy?
Well, just by his performance alone on Saturday was a true testament to the way he prepared during the week, and at a time in the game when we were struggling to protect him, had some a couple of throws that were off early in the game, and to really push through it and us find another way to be able to utilize his talents at that time to open up other ways for him to move the football, and to be able to have a multi-dimensional player like that can that you can put your confidence in, not just to throw it or run it or have command of the offense, but someone that has command of the sideline and has control of the locker room and has the temperature of what's really going on through the week with the team, and he's been outstanding through all this. He's really stepped up his game even more, I believe, from a leadership standpoint, from being a great teammate in the locker room, and he was able to get it done at times in different areas than we've been able to do earlier in the season.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Homecoming this week when you take on Duke. That's always a special day for an alum. I can only imagine how special it is to be helming the program now as well. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate it,
Coach.
Coach.